Hello, Monster Mask fans! I've got our third edition of my featured artist series for you. Today, I want to introduce you to Elliot Britz. He goes by Riff Ghoul. All the photos on this episode can be found on his Instagram. Go follow him to catch all his new work. He posts regularly and it's great stuff. When looking at Elliot's work, I think we should focus on some of his most popular work and the variants he produces. His zombie work is incredible. I love all the different paint schemes. His use of bright colors stands out the most. Check out this piece called Fusion Freak. It's like a creepy fly mutation thing. His alien work is also very, very cool. The emotion on this guy's face is stunning. He even did a very good movie quality mask of the alien from the movie Fire in the Sky. He calls these guys the Surgeon. I will definitely be picking up one of these for my collection. That is one of my favorite movies. He blew everybody away with this commissioned work from the movie The Thing. It looks huge. The teeth are insane on this. This is a no limits sculpting. He even sells a really good Wolfman. His hair work stands out way above the others. Check how smooth that is. Which brings me to another specialty mask that Elliot produces. He makes a lifelike Sasquatch and Yeti. Look at the emotion on these guys. The hair is dense and it covers very, very well. I know this because I am a proud owner of this guy. I love looking at this mask every single day. I made a review showing this mask in high detail. I'll put a link to that video in the description. The mask was good enough to even get the attention of a Bigfoot blog. Check out some of the comments. It's pretty funny. I would take this recognition of his work as a huge compliment. I sent Elliot a few questions so we could learn more about the mind of such a talented artist. Elliot lives in Wisconsin and has been making masks for 12 years now. I asked him, what was the first mask you remember being excited about? The first mask I was ever excited about was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 Leatherface I bought from Tom Savini years ago. The first mask I was excited for of my own was my very first. Seeing it come into being really made me love doing what I do. Then I said, what was the first mask you made? He said, the first few didn't turn out as I was just learning. There wasn't very much material on how to make masks when I started. At least I never found it, so everything I learned was from making mistakes and experimenting. I had purchased a mail order kit from monstermakers.com in the fall of 2008. Never sculpted a thing in my life, but I was always a horror fan since childhood, and it fascinated me. So I just started practicing and screwing up over and over and over and over again until I got it down. I wish I had pics of my first mask. I had a catastrophic computer crash years ago and lost the pics. The sculpting and paint was hideous, but it was awesome to me when I started. No airbrush because I didn't have one yet, just sponge painting. What is your favorite horror or sci-fi movie? My favorite horror movie is tied between The Shining and The Thing. They're both great films. Yeah, I think we could tell that with this amazing commissioned The Thing mask. Where do you get your ideas about what to sculpt? Unless I'm aiming for a certain character for a project, I never really go into something knowing what it will be. It takes forever for me to sculpt stuff because I spend a ton of time walking around it and squinting. seeing what my mind's eye sees in basic forms and trying it out, walking around, looking at it from different angles and modifying. Most times I sculpt what I want to, regardless of whether or not it will work as a wearable mask. I don't really think of myself as a mask maker per se, more of an artist. I would rather sculpt something crazy and let it go where it's going to go instead of saying, well, this won't work here, there's got to be eye holes. I used to collect masks, busts, and props and was more interested in displaying them than wearing them. Nothing ever fit me anyways because my head is so big, so I guess that's how I got to be like that. Dude, I couldn't agree with you more, Elliot. 90% of the masks that I come in here, I'm scared I'm going to start tears in the bottom of the masks every time I put them on my head, but I at least try them on once. So I asked him to shout out another current mask maker that he enjoys the work, and he said, Pete Infleece from the Devil's Workshop is an insane artist, and his pieces are always way beyond great. Matthew Infleece from Monsters Minion Masks, Andrew Santiago, so many more. I enjoy seeing everyone's work and look forward to seeing them all at Mask Fest in fall. Hell yeah, man, Mask Fest is coming up and I'm getting pumped for it. I'm starting to look at plane tickets. I really think I'd like to go out there and meet all you guys. So next I asked him, what are some of the most challenging masks you've made? The most challenging piece I have done to date was a huge Slither tribute bust of Grant from years ago. It was massive and has separate tentacles. I work alone, so moving the extremely heavy molds around full of latex was quite the chore. Yeah, man, that thing looks pretty intense right there. But also, man, it looks beautiful. That is movie quality stuff. Is there any brands or products you like working with? He said, Createx paints and smooth-on products are top-notch. I asked him, what advice would you give to someone who wanted to start making masks? He said, don't give up. There's going to be a point where you'll have your sculpt perfect, and you're going to mold it, and it's not going to turn out. Don't be discouraged. Figure out why it failed and fix it the next time around. Mold not thick enough? Wrong technique? If something else goes wrong, fix that next time around. Repeat and repeat until you find out what works for you. Experiment and be creative. Practice. I've spoken to many other mask makers and everybody's got different ways of doing stuff. I wanted to know, are there any masks you have coming out soon, Elliot? And he said, I'm currently working on some ideas, but like I said before, they can be totally different by the time I get through them. I do this full time and have 2 kids, plus being a guitarist in Cursed at Birth every weekend, which is a 100-mile drive there. So between filling orders and family time, I sculpt when I can and when I get inspired to. Lastly, I asked him, why do you think people enjoy masks? And he said, I grew up when movies had real rubber masks. I enjoy monster masks because it reminds me of great times and memories I had watching those movies. I enjoy customizing paint and hair colors for people. I don't usually charge any extra for it. It's mainly why I make everything per order. Whenever I have something in stock, I usually get asked if I can make one with different colors. It is always a cool challenge to myself with a new paint scheme and hair colors. The crazier, the better. Yeah, man, I can definitely see you're up to the challenge. I knew there was one piece out of Elliot's collection that had highlighted all of his talents the most. I want you guys to meet the Sea Creature. This one is a neon UV paint variant, very Mike's Monster Mask colors, and I am absolutely in love with it. There are so many detailed sculpts all over this mask, but the coolest part of it is when you hit it with the black light. Check this out. Every color you see is UV painting. It is totally dark everywhere. I turned off all the lights. These colors do not stand out in normal light. And look at that. You see these pinks and purples working together, but what really impressed me about the UV paint were these blue and light blue gills that come around the side. These things pop so much. I really don't even think the camera does it justice. And then the fact that he took time to go over each one of these dots randomly with green and blue UV paint. It looks incredible in the back. It's just like a sack or like maybe where his brain or organs are housed. This thing is absolutely incredible in the UV light. And there again, we see those beautiful blue gills pop right there. Oh my gosh, this thing is truly UV incredible. Even the eyes glow under the UV. But check out the piece that blows it away, that mouth. Those things look like neon toxic teeth. I would not want to be bit by one of those. Look at those shades of purple in the skin. The paint job is incredible. I love that he did not continue the purple all the way down the neck. The fade into blue is freaking awesome. Let's take a close look at the small detail in this sculpt. Look at these barnacles and this starfish right here. This is incredible. He just sculpted like other creatures right on top of this mask. Other artists would not have seen this part of the sculpt as an opportunity to test out their sea life sculpting ability. I really think this mask shows off how amazing Elliot's work is. The teeth are made out of some sort of hard material. I think it's like a resin or something. The tongue sits at the bottom of the mouth right there, and you can't see it in some of the video, but there is a nicely placed tongue right there. The texture on the skin looks consistent to an aquatic looking being, and it's very large mask. There's definitely no eye holes because it's meant to be displayed in an art gallery, in my opinion, or maybe a museum. He ships the mask in a large box and packs it very well with pillow stuffing. This thing was babied through shipping. Go look at his Etsy page right now. Save up, treat yourself. It's definitely going to be worth it. This is not something you're going to want to let go for a really long time. People will notice this when you display it in your house. He should be selling these masks for like $200 or $400, but he's definitely not selling them at that price. And before he gets too popular, go get one for yourself before he does start raising the prices. Thank you, Elliot, for making these incredible masks of art, and thank you for letting me share your work. It is my mission to let everyone know about these incredible artists. I want to continue to be a part and build up the mask community and show people what is being made and what they could own for themselves. Thanks for coming out on this journey with me. If you have any artists that you think I should highlight, then let me know in the comments. This has absolutely been a blast to take a look at Elliot's work. I hope you enjoyed it too. If you made it to the end of this video and haven't subscribed, well, then you probably should do so now. I have a lot more artists to highlight, and these videos will definitely keep coming. Until next time, everyone, remember, follow your passion.